At this point in world history, it is safe to say that all of us who are not part of the 0.01% are in the process of being genocided off the face of the earth. Hi folks, welcome back. I wanted to jump on and create a pattern disrupt around what's in the headlines lately. So I'm here to interrupt your hand-wringing and despair about what you're perceiving and the human suffering you're holding space for in your life right now. You will rarely hear me bring up current events because in many ways they're just noise and only relevant to the times we're in, which is why they used to be called current events or what's happening now versus the work we're doing on this channel, which is work that will be done always or universally. So on this channel, we generally deal with eternal universal truths versus temporal or timely truths. That all having been said, we're entering a period where the temporal or the events that are current or now related are merging with the eternal or the universal truths that are within us. The outer world of chaos, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is converging with our inner worlds. And this is why there's been such a strong push by both the dark and the light to adjust the goings-on of our inner worlds. What's on the horizon is why I've been here since 2020, urging us to all clear the decks and regain dominion over our minds by evolving beyond our trauma. It's time to clear our temporary internet files and delete all our cache files. As a great meme once said, heal so we don't have another generation of trauma passing itself off as culture. And the time for this is now, for it's only as sovereign beings that we will have the courage to walk away from the nonsense being hurled at us by our captors. As you may have noticed by now, based on the movie that's been playing out in the media since 2020, things are speeding up and seemingly becoming more and more out of control. The wheels appear to be flying off reality at high speed. Wars are apparently being waged. People are dying because of where they put their trust. Innocent lives are ending merely because a few evil people wanted it that way. And the injustice of it all is about as obvious as the plotline in Dances with Wolves, wherein the Native American tribes of this country are genocided off the face of the earth. At this point in world history, it is safe to say that all of us who are not part of the 0.01% are in the process of being genocided off the face of the earth. At least this is what our captors want us to believe. But this is not true, my friend. In fact, it's not only not true, it's categorically false. And as usual, the opposite of what they want us to believe is in fact the truth, which is that we are winning. The light is winning, and the light is winning because more and more people are healing themselves so they can get off the sidelines and get in the fight. And here's where we must pause and reflect on what it means to truly be in the fight. To be in the fight against the dark, you must anchor the light, not become part of the dark through feelings and thoughts of outrage, vengeance, and despair. We are vibrational beings. We are not matter. We are space and vibration being perceived by a human central nervous system. And what we are perceiving is a reality of our own making based on what we are vibrating. The world you see around you today was composed by the thoughts and feelings you experienced yesterday. And you've heard me say it many, many times before. When you've captured the knowing of a population, you've captured the reality. Because what we know or are programmed to know is what the world becomes. This is why we need to let go of outrage, vengeance, and despair. If we're collectively experiencing outrage, vengeance, and despair about what we're seeing in the news, outrage, vengeance, and despair will be what we experience in our material reality. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but the best way to get in the fight is to ignore the fight altogether and anchor the light. So now I want to talk about the difference between the inner world and the outer world. All external reality begins as internal reality, which is to say, the world we see outside of us is first created by the world we don't see, or the world inside of us. So to create the world we want to see, we have to first see it within ourselves before it can manifest without ourselves. And so as we're bombarded with images of violence and suffering, rather than match the violence and suffering in kind within ourselves, we must anchor that which it is we want to see and know that it is going to be the next reality that emerges. Our knowing that the world we see and feel inside of us is more real than the world we see outside of us must be unwavering. Our knowing that the most powerful change we can impact is the change within ourselves must be uncompromising. An individual vibrating at 700 on Hawkins' map of consciousness counterbalances the negativity of 70 million individuals below a level of 200. An individual at 600 counterbalances 10 million people below 200. One at 500 counterbalances 750,000 people below 200. And an individual at 300 counterbalances the negativity of 90,000 individuals below 200. So you see, your vibration may be more important than you thought. And so we cannot allow ourselves to be swept up in the hysteria of what's being perceived around us. And instead, we have to go within and cultivate a holographic version of the world we want to see. We have to hear it, we have to touch it, and we have to feel it. And then we have to hammer it into our psyche over and over and over. We have to anchor the world we want to see. We can't continue to anchor the world they want to see. We have to become relentless about holding the line and holding the space for the loving, fair, just, joyful, and peaceful world we want to see. We are now at the precipice, and so now it is time to apply your training, to be a lighthouse to everyone you come into contact with, of power, strength, compassion, stillness, and peace. It's time now to intensify our connection to each other and to the Creator, to be beyond confident in our true human power to create reality and to steer the world of the seen with what we hold fixed in our unseen realms, to deny the reality they want to see with all our soul, our heart, and our might, so that what we hold true within will propagate the without. This is not a drill, it is time. I know you can do it, I love you, and I believe in you. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.